Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Deidre V, and in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my third trimester experience as well as my labor and delivery story. So if you are interested in that, then please stay tuned. So y'all, it has been a long time. I finally made it back. I didn't know if I was going to be able to make this video because ooh, y'all just had a baby. I cannot believe I just had a baby 2 weeks ago. So, oh my goodness, I have so much to tell y'all. I cannot believe that I even have the opportunity to sit down and make this video because baby is napping. That's the best time. So, let's start with my third trimester and how that went and my symptoms and everything. If I can remember, I feel like it was so long ago. So third trimester, I definitely had more energy than I did in my first trimester, and maybe less energy than I did in my second trimester, but I was just excited, and I see why women who are close to their due date are like, oh, get this baby out of me, because it does feel like that because you're so uncomfortable. Everything is uncomfortable. You can't sleep. You already can't sleep because of the frequent urination and because you're just so pregnant and insomnia. But you're also very uncomfortable and your bump is huge, and it's hard to like get into positions that are comfortable. So that was definitely one of my symptoms, is just being generally uncomfortable. But other than that, I felt pretty good. I felt pretty like, not necessarily energetic. I don't know, I just felt pretty good. I had my birth ball, so I was bouncing on that every day. I had the dates, as you probably saw in the vlog. I had some labor tea. I was trying everything because my appointments kept going and baby was not budging. So I was trying all types of things. What else? What else did I experience in my third trimester? Just generally not being able to like move like I wanted to, and just because I'm very active person, and so like I'm the type of person that moves furniture around and like rearranges things, and I'm just always, on the go, and so and can't sit down. And so in my third trimester it was difficult not being able to do that, even though I still was pretty active, but you're not able to like bend straight down and do things that you would normally do because the bump was so just boom, it was so big. What else? Everything, the frequent urination continued all the way up until the end. I mean, to the bitter end, like every, just, it seemed like every 5 minutes, you're just up all night long with that. And so that was a symptom that continued. I never really had any issues with like the food that I was eating. I didn't necessarily crave anything in particular. I was definitely eating every couple hours, hungry all the time. So that's pretty normal for me, but I wasn't craving any particular foods. Nesting, I was definitely nesting in the third trimester. Building everything, putting all my little baby stuff together, getting the nursery together, and organizing all of my stuff from the baby showers, all of the gifts, all of the toys, all the bath stuff, all of the clothes, and and everything. And I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to do that because I left work a couple of weeks before my due date, and so I was able to take that time to just prep as much as I possibly could. and just rest and just be at home. And I'm so grateful that I have had the opportunity to do that. What else? Y'all, I'm trying to hurry and trying to rush because I don't know when baby's gonna wake up. I got my monitor. Someone gifted me this monitor at the baby shower. And so we've been using that. It's the one that doesn't have to connect to the Wi-Fi, it's just plug in. So I'm keeping an eye on baby. What else? Just generally during the third trimester, you are anxious and I've watched so many videos in preparation, so many birth vlogs, just information in general about labor and delivery. And as I told you, I did not want an induction. I just wanted baby to come naturally, and I wanted to try to labor naturally with like minimal drugs and stuff like that. So we're gonna get into that later, how that went. But what else happened during my third trimester? I was pretty much just at home doing the usual things, cooking and just enjoying being at home and nesting and just prepping and all of that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for like what I experienced during my third trimester. I had a lot of people checking on me, and people are, they were in anticipation, wondering when is baby coming, what is your due date, and all of that, because people are excited. And then just preparing for family to be there with me, at the time of birth, and getting my hospital bag together, which you saw that in a previous vlog. So, but yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up for I'm sure I'm missing something, but yeah, the third trimester was just, you're just waiting and you're just uncomfortable. Thank goodness I didn't have any nausea, any of that. Just that frequent urination and just getting more and more ready for baby to come out. So that's all I can think of for third trimester. So let's move along to my labor and delivery story. Okay, y'all, so as I mentioned before, I did not want to do an induction and any unnecessary medications and all that stuff. I wanted to go not completely natural. I wanted to, I was not opposed to IV medication, but I did not want to get an epidural. I didn't want the induction because, I felt like that would lead to more painful contractions and just what do you call it? It's called I can't think of the phrase, but the cascade of interventions where, you get that and then you need the epidural, then you need this, and then they're like, oh, now I need to do a C-section, all that. So anyway, it all started when I went to my 40-week appointment. So I made it all the way to 40 weeks. Thank you, Lord Jesus. That is what, I wanted to do. I wanted to make it all the way to 40 weeks. So that baby could have the time to be fully developed and everything. And when we got there, they did the ultrasound because of my age. They were doing ultrasounds at every appointment toward the end of our pregnancy leading up to my due date. So we got there, they did the ultrasound, and then I saw my doctor during the ultrasound. They were like, well, basically, I'm not going to go into detail, but they noticed something and thankfully my husband was there with me at this appointment, but they noticed something, and then the doctor was like, so do y'all have your bags with you right now? And I was like, what are you talking about? She asked us if we had our bags with us at the appointment, and was like, y'all need to go over to the hospital like right now, today. And I was like, I think we were both in disbelief, and we weren't like fully comprehending what was going on and what she was saying, because it was just like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? So she was like, well, you can go home and get your bags, but you need to go ahead. Baby's moving. Okay, it's fine. You need to go ahead and get to the hospital. they're like, you need to go ahead and get to the hospital today. And so, long story short, we went home, got our bags, and I had to tell him it for weeks and weeks. But anyway, like, I think he had just packed his bag that previous week, or like a couple of days before that, you know, and got his stuff together. So, and of course, I had my stuff packed. So, we are back from my 40-week appointment. And basically, we have to go back and have the baby as soon as possible. So we're gonna go back this evening. We're going back tonight. So we're gonna grab a few more things and take us a nap and then go back.
I don't know what's a bit fun.
We gotta go to the hospital. We are about to go to the hospital. Get on my little outfit. Here's baby. Help us, Jesus. Way ahead of time because I'm a prepared person. So went home, got our bags, long story short, got back to the hospital that night. And I decided to go with my doctor's recommendation of getting an induction because that was the best course of action for myself and baby's safety. And so we ended up doing that, y'all. Oh, so they did the, I think the medication is called Cytotec or something that starts with a C. I don't know, but it's the medication that is inserted and that causes you to dilate. And that is what was given to me. And I was like, okay, this is the best course of action because we went in that night and I was like, okay, if we go ahead and I can just get this induction done overnight and then at least by tomorrow we'll probably be able to have the baby, you know, because, you know, I'll be able to go through the night, you know, going through this induction. And that is essentially what happened. So they gave me that for the dilation. They kept checking me, y'all. When I say, and I did have my birth plan and everything. I had to mark some stuff out of my birth plan because, of course, I didn't want an induction. But anyway, so the nurses were very receptive and kind. And I feel like I had really good nurses and techs the entire stay, you know, so I'm really grateful for that. They were all really good. But yeah, so they gave me the medication that night after we checked in and everything, got in my room. The entire process took place in that same hospital room. We stayed in that same room the whole time. So after they gave me that, and they had to do the cervical check, y'all, it's so painful. So painful. I see what they mean now. It's so painful. Oh my goodness. I was like, oh, this is awful. So, but yeah, the nurse is really nice and everything, but it's still like the cervical check, ugh. But they have to do that to see how far along you are, how far you're, you know, where you're starting out at, you know. And of course I was not dilated or anything like that. I think I maybe like it was 1 centimeter or something, but 0% effaced. So by the time, okay, so I'm gonna tell you how the night went. I did get and request IV medication, but I did not want an epidural. So that night, as you know, when they give you that medication, it does cause contractions. And so I was experiencing the contractions. At first, they came on as like a wave. There's baby again. It's okay. At first, let me hurry up. At first, the contractions came on as a wave, and I could breathe through, you know. I could just breathe through the contractions, and they were like kind of spaced apart. But then as time progressed throughout the night, it just got worse and worse. The pain got worse and worse, and the contractions got closer and closer together. They were literally 2 to 3 minutes apart. And the medicine was doing what it was intended to do, which is to like dilate me and all that. And so that's why, you know, that was happening. So I had IV in this arm, and they did give me medication to help with that. But y'all, when I tell you, it did nothing. It literally did nothing for the pain. The medication, I think they gave me morphine. It did nothing. When I tell you it did nothing for the pain, it did nothing for the pain. Not a thing. I'm like, am I immune to medication or something? Because it was not helping me. The only thing it did was like make me, as the nurse said, oh, it just takes the edge off. Like, it didn't, y'all. All it did was make me sleepy during contractions. And that during contraction time was like 2 minutes. And so I'm just like, and I'm just breathing hard. And my husband's over there just looking at me like, y'all, it was so bad. It was all night long. I did not sleep, okay? I did not sleep that whole night. And I think they started the medication, like, it was late, y'all. It was late. It was probably like 10, 11 o'clock that night. When they started the medication and all that. And at first, like I said, I could breathe through them. It was just like, it was just like this wave. And when people, how it feels, the way that contractions feel is accurate when people say they feel like menstrual cramps, like period cramps, but on 10,000. That's exactly what it feels like. On 10,000. When I say 10,000, on 10,000, okay? So, and I could see how maybe if I had gone into labor naturally, you know, and the contractions weren't like boom, 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 like that, I could see how a person can breathe through them because, you know, they come in waves and you can feel it coming on, and then it's just like, but by the end, by the morning, by like 5 o'clock that morning, like I could not take it anymore. And then every time I had to go to the bathroom, I had to like take my IV pole. So I'm just there in my hospital gown with my behind out, like just walking back and forth to the bathroom. Then I had to unplug myself from the monitors and stuff, and they have the belly bands to monitor you and the baby's heartbeat and monitor your contractions. So one is for the contractions, one is for baby's monitor. So you have to unplug there every time you go to the bathroom, and then I had my IV in, so I had to roll the IV pole in there. It was so much, y'all. And I was trying to get my husband to like massage my back at certain times, and then it was so bad. I see why people beg for an epidural, because by the time 4 or 5 o'clock that morning got there, I was like, call the nurse. I can't say it anymore. Call the nurse. And then my husband was like, you said you didn't want an epidural. Remember you said you didn't want it. I was like, oh, this man don't stop talking to me and call this nurse. Y'all, it was so bad. I was like, I'm gonna die. Not literally, but the pain was excruciating. Like I couldn't even like, there was no more breathing through it. It was like, give me the epidural right now. And I just remember like one time getting up, going to the bathroom, and like grabbed my husband's hand. I wanted to like squeeze, I wanted to break his hand. Like it was so bad. Like it was so bad, y'all. Oh, I gotta hurry up. Okay, so yeah, so shift change happened, I think at 6 o'clock that morning. So by that time I was like, give me the epidural immediately. So I think, I don't remember if I called the nurse or if he called the nurse, but they were like, okay, she's ready. And then all of a sudden, like a bunch of people came into the room. The nurse anesthetist came in there. There was a new nurse that came on the day shift, and they were like, okay, need to get you in position. Like the pain was so bad. It took me like 15 full minutes, I'm sure, to get into position to like stand up and sit back down on the bed in the right position and like hunch over and stay complete. And then they were like, stay still. You have to stay still when you get an epidural. And when you are going through contractions, stay still. What do you mean, stay still? Y'all, you cannot. It took every bit of like mental energy and like prayer and just everything in me to sit still. Like the nurse came in, she was standing in front of me right here. I grabbed onto her jacket and she put her hands on my shoulders to like help me to arch over, because you have to like arch your back over like this, and then they want your hips to be in a certain position on the, you know, like level, and be completely still and let them know if you're having a contraction. And I knew I was gonna have a contraction during this process. Oh God, y'all, it was so, the pain. I understand now. It was awful. And this is before the Pitocin. So I don't see how people do it without an epidural, because I was like, give me the epidural immediately. And so I'm grabbing onto the nurse's coat and I'm just sitting there like, oh, Jesus. You know, and then when I felt the medicine, like I felt them like insert the needle and all that, and that, people say that's painful. It was not as painful as a contraction, baby. And like I remember saying, oh God, when I felt the medicine, when I felt my legs going up, it's like electric, like this electric signal going down both legs. It went down the left leg at first and then the right leg. And that's what made me go, oh God. Because I was like, what does that mean? It's such a weird sensation. And then probably like 10, 15 minutes later, pain-free. Pain-free. I was like, how is this possible? Why would you refuse this? Why would you not want this? Why would you not want these drugs? Like, I don't understand. Like, oh, y'all. But anyway, so got the epidural. After that, smooth sailing, no pain, pain-free. I was like, oh, now I can sleep. Now I can function, now I can talk. Like, the pain was so bad, you can't even talk. Like, you can barely breathe through it. Like, oh God, it was so rough. My poor husband was just over there like helpless. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. But I just remember like being like, ooh, I need this right now. I cannot make it. So I'm so glad that I decided to go ahead and get the epidural. And when I did, okay, so that was like 6 or 7 o'clock that morning after shift change. And then they were like, do you feel this leg? Do you feel? And the good part was I could still move my legs, but they felt really warm. So I could still feel my legs and move my legs and like shift myself from side to side in the bed and all that. Of course, you can't get up and walk around, but you know, I shift myself from side to side and like sit up in the bed and just move around and stuff. And I was good, pain free. Okay, so that was like around 6 or 7 o'clock that morning. And so throughout the day that day, they gave me Pitocin, they gave me, to continue, to continue like the contractions and dilation and all that. So the medicine that they gave me the night before, it got me to like 100% effaced, but I was still only like 3 centimeters dilated. And then by the time they gave me like the Pitocin and all that, I progressed pretty quickly throughout the day. So by 4 o'clock that afternoon, there's baby. Y'all, I'm gonna have to go get him. I gotta hurry up. He's okay. 5 more minutes. Okay, so by 4 o'clock that day, it was time to push, and then like 50 people came in the room. Everybody was in the room. There was so many people, and I just remember they check on you so often. And after that, when they were doing the cervical checks, while I had the epidural, pain free. It was just like, cervical check, what is that? It was nothing. Like, I had students in there who were in training to become nurses, who were watching and all that. And what else? They were doing the cervical checks. They were doing my blood pressure every so often and all that. They're just constantly checking on you. So by 4 something, it was time to push, and the doctor came in, was like, "You ready to have this baby?" And I'm like, "What is we talking about?" I was in disbelief, like, "Right now? What do you mean?" And then they raised the bed up like super high, and then you got the stirrups, you got your legs in the stirrups, and you just, hello world. Everybody was in the room. My mama was there, my sister was there, his mama was there, of course he was there, 2 nursing students, like a tech, another nurse, 2 baby nurses. By the time I got to the end of the pushing, of course the doctor was like right there in front. So lots of people in the room. Just watching it all and helping. And I think my sister was holding my neck when mom was over here and my husband was over here. He had to like go out, and take a little break, and then like it was so much going on. And they brought the mirror in to help me push. We also played tug of war, like with a sheet, to help me push as well. And then on the bed, they have these bars that you can pull on to help you push. So there was so much going on, y'all. But when I say we literally played tug of war, I played tug of war with like one of the techs and one of the nursing students. So they tied a knot in either side of the sheet. And literally, we pulled and I pushed while I pulled on the sheet. It was insane. But yeah, and it just felt like he would never come out, y'all. It felt so impossible. I'm like, there's no way. Oh, I forgot to mention that even though I couldn't feel contraction pain with the epidural, you can feel when the baby's head is descending down the birth canal and like getting all the way down there. And that part, I could say it was definitely painful, but not like, it was more so like pressure, but it was a little bit painful. But it wasn't bad like those contractions. So, but yeah, you could like I could feel his head like coming down. And then also with the epidural, it causes you to shake. And so my mom was over there like, "Is she cold? I think she's cold." I'm like, "No, I'm not cold. I'm not cold. It's just a medication." Like, it makes you shake so bad. And I just kept feeling his head coming down more and more and more. And then by the time they checked me last time, she was like, "She's 10 minutes dilated and fully effaced, and it's time to have the baby." And then that's when everybody came into the room. So after like an hour, maybe less than an hour of pushing, baby was here. And they they brought the mirror. I heard that they do this, but they asked me if I wanted the mirror to be able to see myself pushing, and of course I did. So they rolled this mirror in on the stand, and they positioned it so you could see, and then you could literally see baby's head coming out. They were like, there's his hair and all that. Oh, lots of coaching, lots of help from my sister, my mom, everybody helping me and like holding my legs and you can do it and all that, So what an experience, y'all. I pushed a baby out. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it to this day that whole body was inside of my stomach. But it was. And he came flying out. It was crazy. So that is the story of my labor and delivery. And they got him out. She got the placenta out. I got pictures of everything. Of course I'm gonna show that, but yeah, and baby has long feet and big hands, and he was long, 7 pounds, 11 ounces, 21 inches long. And he's healthy and beautiful, and I'm so happy.
Iconic landmarks, local life, and cultural treasures. Because when you experience Europe on a Viking longship, you'll spend less time getting around and more time being around. Viking, exploring the world in comfort.
So, we have had a baby, and we are getting ready to go home. Waiting on Daddy to come up here with the car seat. This is me. Look at my little postpartum. He was in there. And now, he is right here. That's Mommy's baby. So, got all his stuff. Let's put him in an outfit and go home. I cannot believe it. It's my little board. Got lots of goodies to go home with. Thank you, Lord Jesus. And postpartum has been postpartuming, girl. It's rough after having a baby, of course. But I've had support of my family and friends and my husband, and everything is going well. I'm doing well. Y'all, there's a baby in there. And people always be talking about snatchback and all that and snapback from pregnancy. I didn't gain a lot of weight during pregnancy, towards the end, to the point where they were worried, that I wasn't gaining enough weight and stuff. So I knew I wasn't gonna have like a lot of weight to lose, or wasn't gonna look very different. So and I think that's all in your genes, your genetics, so it just depends. And then it can depend on the baby. Like some people get pregnant with a boy, they look a certain way, and then you might get pregnant with a girl and gain more weight or whatever. But this is me. Baby was in there. Boom. It does feel like softer, but I pretty much feel the same. I feel like myself again. I feel good. I don't want to go back to work. I just want to be here with my baby all day, every day. Like, just at home. I just wish I could stay at home and just keep him all day, every day. But I think that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching and following on this journey. with me. I'm so grateful that we have everything that we need. Oh, let's talk about breastfeeding for a second. The realities of motherhood. I'm pumping. Baby is fussy. And I'm trying to eat at the same time. This is life. This is the reality. People think it's so beautiful. Look at me. Look at me. This is real life right here. Real life, baby. Look at my hair. Real life. Before I go, because at the hospital, you know, our original plan was to breastfeed, and I am breastfeeding now. The hospital that did end up giving him formula, because they kept him in the nursery overnight while we slept and everything. And so then when he got home, it was like, oh, he just wanted formula, and it was kind of difficult transitioning him onto breastfeeding. But now that he's got the hang of this breastfeeding, he will not take any formula. There is no supplementation anymore. Like, he does not want formula at all. You can tell the difference. I can put formula in a bottle and put breast milk like in the same type of bottle, and he knows the difference. So he will not drink formula at all, which is good, which is what I pray for. But he's been cluster feeding a little bit, and just only wanting breast milk, which is great. So I gotta figure out this breast milk thing, y'all. I gotta pump more and all that stuff. But anyway, so that is what is going on with me. That's how I'm doing. I'm about to go get my baby. Let me show y'all him at the end since he's waking up now. Hold on a second. Oh. Here is Mommy's beautiful precious boy. All right, thank you all so much for watching this video. For all of your kind wishes, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Oh.